uh, our dedicated country and club trainers to this important training session. Your presence here reflects your commitment to continuous growth and improvement, not only for yourselves, but also for all the Rotary community in our district. Today, we embark on a journey to transform our training approach by embracing the power of interactivity. This is not about education, it is about empowerment and creating experiences that inspire. The heart of our mission as Rotarian is to serve, to make a meaningful service, a meaningful impact, and to ignite a positive change. But we cannot achieve this by simply talking, by simply doing presentation, by simply hoping everybody has to remember what we are saying. Our duty extends beyond importing knowledge. It's about connecting, engaging, and motivating our fellow Rotarians. Rotarians learn by doing, by participating, by expressing their thoughts and their ideas. For this reason, I can say that interactive activities are the key to achieving this. They are not just engaging diversion. They are bridges that connect learners to concepts, allowing them to see the bigger picture and truly understand the why behind what they are learning. When we learn through interaction, we retain information better, and more importantly, we can apply it effectively in our Rotary journey. So why should we champion interactivity? Interactivity prevents monotony and keep participants actively engaged. When people are engaged, they are more likely to absorb and to retain information. They focus their attention. When we have interactivity, we create the space for individuals to voice their ideas, their experiences, their concerns. This encourages different perspectives and from different backgrounds to enrich our learning process. It strengthens the application. Knowledge alone is limited. It is in the application of what we are learning that true understanding flourishes. Interactive activities facilitate the transition from theory to action. This is how Rotarians can make things happen. This is how we can learn differently. So let's talk about how we can bring interactivity to life during our training session. Every Rotary club in our district or in the world is unique, so are the needs of each club. Conducting a thorough needs assessment in each club helps us tailor our training to address their specific challenges and aspirations. And what I can say as well, that the facilitators have a role not just to impart information. They have the role to be guides. They have to encourage dialogue, and they have to ensure that everyone's voices are heard. My dear friends, by cultivating interactivities in our training, we create an environment where Rotary's guiding principles come alive. We are championing collaboration and empowerment plus inclusivity, the very qualities that drive our service projects and our initiatives. At the end, I want each one of you to take or to walk away with a renewed sense of purpose, armed with tools to describe the benefits of interactive activities, identify the techniques of being an effective facilitator, and other techniques to resonate with our audience and our training goals. Remember, every time we lead a training session, we are sowing the seeds of inspiration. We are equipping our fellow Rotarians with the knowledge and passion they need to make a tangible difference. So let's embark on this journey together, embracing interactivities and weaving the magic of Rotary spirit into every learning experience we craft. Now I want to ask Samar, how can I show my screen? Can I share my screen?
Okay.
I have two slides before starting.
I'm making you host, and then you put me as host again. I put you as host now.
Okay. Do you see the screen now?
Yes.
I have a problem. Okay. We talked about the purpose of the session. It is to equip trainers with the skills to lead effective and enjoyable training sessions. The encounter will take us to prepare the facilitators in each club and in each country to engage more the participants during the training sessions and the flexibility in selecting session formats based on the specific, where the participants and the goals of the training event. Who are the participants in this training session? They are the country trainer, the club presidents, and Rotarians who are interested in this subject. We all agree that training plays an important role in supporting Rotary's strategic plan. All over the world, Rotary work on training. Rotary International trains the Rotary coordinators, they train the directors, they train the trustees, the governors-elect, every officer in Rotary. For this reason, they do the International Assembly, the GATS, the DTTS, the PETS, the TTA. And when we talk about Rotarians, it includes the district leadership seminar, district membership seminar, district Rotary Foundation seminar, district public image seminar, leadership development program, grant management seminar, and others. In our district, we did a plan for this year, and this is what we want to do during the whole year. We started today with the Train the Trainers training session. We have on the 21st of September, the RLI Part 1, 29th of September, the Public Image Seminar, 2 of October, we have the Strategic Planning. This year, we're talking a lot about, or the president recommends all, the president of Rotary International recommends all Rotarians to work on mental health and on girls' empowerment. We dedicated 2 sessions for these 2 topics, one of them on October 23rd, and the other one November 6th. We have the Rotary Foundation seminar that will be held in Lebanon on November 19. 11th of January, we have the RLI Part 2, the district membership seminar in Dubai in February. And we have the RLI Part 3. Before moving to the discussion or to the debate, I would like to give to give my mullah 1 minute to talk about the RLI that she is planning to do as the chairperson of the Rotary Leadership Institute, part 1, part 2, and part 3. The floor is yours.
Thank you, PDG Jamil.
Can you please stop sharing your screen, Assistant Governor Jamil? And may I ask everybody to mute themselves, please?
Exactly, because I just want to tell you that the Rotary Leadership Institute, we have revitalized it last year under the request of past District Governor George Azar, and it was very successful. This year, we are going to do it professionally like it is done all over the world. The Rotary Leadership Institute is not an official Rotary entity. It is the leadership with the Rotary information. So it is an organization aside. We use it as Rotarian, and it's all over the world. We are going to do it as a course. It will be divided in 3 parts. Each part will tackle a different subject related to all the leadership topics related to Rotary. And finally, we have the graduate course, which is what we are doing today with the district trainer Jamil. So we are starting in the inverse style. So I hope on the 21st of September to see you all, and we will talk more in detail for what Rotary Leadership Institute will cover. I wish you good luck for today's session. Thank you, Sheikh.
Thank you, Mai, for your input about the Rotary Leadership Institute. Now we will start with the panel.
Jamil, can you make Samar host?
Yes.
Sorry to intervene.
Samar, I have to see Samar here. Yes, okay. Samar is now the host, right? Okay. I have to
Can you?
Nader Shai,
Nader, can you please mute yourself? Nader.
You can mute him from your side.
We will start now with the panel. And we have in the panel 4 great Rotarians. They are all experts in this field. They are past District Governor Nijad Al-Atassi, past District Governor Christina, President Abdallah Mazahreh, and past DRR Maggie Poposka. I will not introduce them. I will not read any CV for each one of them. They are all well known, and they are all, as I said, experts in the field of training. The first question will be addressed to past District Governor Nijad Al-Atassi. Nijad, what was the reasoning behind the decision to change the title from district trainer to district learning facilitator? How does this new title better reflect the evolving role and objectives within our Rotary clubs, within our Rotary districts? And what benefits does it bring to our approach to learning and development?
Thank you, Jamil. Thank you very much. Fellow Rotarian protocol observed, good evening. Wishing you a successful and enjoyable session training train the trainers. First of all, I would like to refresh our memory. What is the role of the district trainer, as we know, and briefly have the background of the role of the district learning facilitator. As we know, the district trainer supports the governor-elect by training incoming club and district leaders. Support also the governor by providing continuing education for Rotarians. Chair also the district training committee, provide Rotary leaders the knowledge and the skills needed to lead their clubs and districts. Facilitators are those guides on the side who foster discussion, lead activities, and encourage learners to dive a little deeper into topics. It is an important role to play physically, face-to-face, or online learning, as well as individual and group learning environments. Now, our approach in Rotary is shifting from a training model to a learning facilitation model. This part of the action plan goal of putting participants at the center of what we do, which means facilitator should concentrate on the learning process. They are there, the facilitator, to encourage collaboration and self-learning. Based on this, the new title better reflect the evolving role and objectives within our Rotary community. In practice, this means that members will have more active involvement in their learning and more control over it. It also means that people who lead Rotary learning experience will serve more as facilitator who guide members to share their ideas than as lecturers who tell members information to know only. Back to you, Jamil or Samar.
Thank you, Nijad.
I know the time is short. I know the time is limited, so short and sweet. Thank you.
Yes, this is the best practice we have to do, because we have many questions to ask, and I profit of this opportunity to ask all the panelists to be very succinct as much as they can. Anyway, I would like to say that understanding the principle of adult learning, we're talking here about Rotarians, it helps the facilitator fulfill their critical role. The purpose of adult education is to help participants learn, not to teach them what you want them to know. For adult, learning involves taking the information, processing the information, gaining understanding, and then to apply the learning at a later time in our clubs or in our communities. Dear President Abdallah Mazahreh, as you are an expert in this field, can you tell us how adults learn?
Thank you.
I put you as host. I made you as host.
Thank you, PDG Jamil. Well, hello to everyone, and thank you for the opportunity to be present to this great group of Rotarians. Samar, will I be sharing the slide or you? Shall I share it? I will be sharing it.
You can share. You can do whatever you want from your side.
Okay. Yes. Okay. I decided to just have the slides to support my talk. So I'm answering the question that was addressed to me by PDG Jamil, how adults learn. Why I'm putting the slide in front of you? Because a training program is not something that we gather the slides and we put them together and then we deliver the program to the trainers. We need to understand the psychology, the brain side of adults, how they learn. What I did, I just summarized what we know in the training industry about how adults learn. And as you see on the left side of the slide, there's different theories behind how adults learn. What we need to know is the right side of the slide, which is how we let others learn. One, we need to connect lessons that they have in the training program.
Excuse me, can you move the slide, please?
It's not moving.
No, put it a slideshow. It's not a slideshow yet.
It is at my side. Let me see what's happening. Okay. Sorry. Can you see it now?
Yes,
No?
thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you, yes.
So on the left side, as I was saying, is the theories behind how adults learn. I will not go into the details, that we don't have much time for that. But the idea is, whenever you have a program that you need to deliver to your participants, you need to make sure, one, all the lessons that they have from you is to connect them to their experience, to their past. Second, make sure always to have a hands-on experience and real-world examples so that they can practice. Third, make it a safe place for them to learn and let them have the opportunity to express themselves, rethink their ideas and their beliefs. And fourth, give them the part and the control so that they feel that they're part of the group and they are learning as a group. The first one is teamwork. Let them learn from each other as role models. 6, make sure, and this is one of the most important sentences here, make sure that they learn differently. Because they learn differently, you need to adjust your style according to the participants present in your in the meeting room. Mix your learning with theory. So basic knowledge, let them think about the theories that is there in the training program. And last, make them feel that this is important for them. What they are learning, this is important for them. So this is why I have 3 pillars that you need to focus on. One is let your training program be effective. So an example, let them feel that this is worth for them. Second, you need to focus on working on the new skills that they need to work on. So if you talk presentation skills, if you say coaching, have it practice in that. And third, make sure that they understand the knowledge and the science behind it. So it's a mix of feelings, of behavior, and cognitive or knowledge that they need to acquire. So these are the 3 elements, plus the theory that I discussed, that will enhance better learning for the participants. This is in brief. This is just tips for the brain to go further and go dig deep whenever you are developing your program. I finished my answer here, PDG Jamil.
Can you please stop sharing, please?
Yes.
Abdallah.
Thank you, Abdallah. Your explanation was excellent. And now I move to pass the State Governor, Christina, to ask her a very important question. What are the key responsibilities and the qualities that make a facilitator effective in guiding discussions and ensuring high-quality exchange of ideas at any training event? Christina, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Jamil. I don't need to be host, Samar, so don't worry. Well, according to Laubi Charlin, the term facilitation is often used interchangeably with training, but there are distinct differences in the definition of training and facilitation. In this case, Rotary uses the term training as teaching information, a skill as teaching information of a skill or a behavior. Facilitation is helping a group of people to reach a consensus or solve a problem without directly contributing to the discussion. And then we have presentation, like what President Abdallah did, an activity in which someone shows, describes, or explains something to a group of people. Facilitation is, of course, for a small group. You can't do facilitation in a group of 100 people, but you can do facilitation in a group of 20, 30 people. Facilitation is a discussion method in which the leader directs the conversation, but gives participants responsibility for defining and solving a problem. Facilitators remain neutral and encouraging and don't voice their own ideas. They help a group understand their common objectives and how to achieve them. This approach can help you hold productive meetings, resolve challenges, and move a group toward a goal. How adults learn, you will hear about this all through this meeting. They learn by taking in information, by processing information, by gaining understanding or insight, and application of learning at a later time. Now, the role of the facilitator is to use their own skills and their credibility, their enthusiasm to influence a group's ability to set goals and develop a plan for achieving them. Facilitation is about helping a group move smoothly through the discussion process. It's important to listen and not talk. It's important to exchange eye contact with your audience, with the individuals in the room, which is something that is totally lacking in a room like the one we are having here. It's important to think on your feet and solve problems that occur there and then. You must be able to resolve a conflict that may occur in the room. And it is important to handle time management of a session. Best good facilitation practices come with, first of all, knowing your material well. Speak slowly and clearly. I hope I'm doing that. Avoid colloquialisms, which is expressions that are more identify with your part of the world. And being a district of 9 countries, that is quite an important point. Avoid sentences or questions with negatives. Don't do that. We shouldn't do this. And then you get the occasion where questions need to be rephrased to be understood by everyone. You have to be able to, again, think on your feet and provide specific examples as you go on. You should avoid interrupting. Sometimes you may not need to respond immediately, and it is good practice to avoid jokes. More will come with later questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Christina. Everything was very clear. And let me tell you that we talked now about the qualities that make a facilitator effective. We talked as well about the participants in a training seminar, how they want the seminar to be or what they want to know. Now I want to move to another thing that is very important, which is the learning environment. And we have here with us past DRR Maggie Poposka. I want to ask her, how, Maggie, can we create a positive and supportive learning environment that also increase the understanding of the information from the part of the participants?
Thank you, PDG Jamil. Good evening, everyone. So creating a positive and supportive learning environment, it's really crucial for engagement and for effective learning, especially when we have cheerful atmosphere. We always tend to remember more of that specific training or that specific event. But before we reach to that positivity, I really need to mention some detected mistakes we do, especially in Rotary and Rotaract, while speaking to our members, trainees, attendees, or even our potential members. And they might be harsh, they might be bold, but we need to acknowledge them in order to be more productive. And PDG Christina, she already shared some of them. And some common mistakes definitely are the judging or comparison. So this we don't do consciously. However, whenever we have any training and someone passionately shares about certain project or certain achievement that they have done, we always tend to compare it with something that we have been doing. So if someone says that we had a very successful end polio walk, and then we always tend as Rotarians to say, yes, we also did this from our club, which somehow can be connected with negativity as well and discourages the people that are listening to us. Then we have the negativity and complaining, as PDG Christina mentioned. Here we always have a certain system that, yes, if this meeting or this training would have been at 7 p.m., it would have been much better for me. So we always tend to give this kind of personal touch to the related topic, which sometimes needs to be more general. We have a lot of excuses and not taking responsibility. So we always tend, if we haven't done something especially, or we haven't delivered some topic, or we haven't even executed our pets, or the president did not even attend the pets, then we have a system of excuse. We need to shift that to a positive manner and to really make a more comfortable and more safe environment for those presidents or for those members that are listening to us. We tend to exaggerate, and this sometimes happens on a Rotary and Rotary meetings where we somehow overshare information, where we have new members and they might not be knowledgeable even about the basics. Or we have the dogmatism, where it's the confusion of facts with opinions. And we are ignorant to available resources. We do have a lot of resources such as My Rotary training centers, and we don't tend to use it. So how we actually can tend to solutions for this? We can master the HAIL method and keep it in mind when we have any kind of communication or facilitation. The HAIL method, which is HAIL, stands for H for honesty, can be translated to be clear and be straightforward, know what you're saying, and just honestly share what is your knowledge or experience. Authenticity, A, be yourself. We all have a different kind of method of translating our desired topic. However, when we are original, when we are ourselves, people tend to understand us more. Integrity, for I, be your own word, have a trustworthy explanation, and L, it's for love. We need to wish people well, and whenever we have even a Rotary explanation, this is why we are guided by our passion for Rotary and for our organization. That's definitely for our open communication. We need to show support to whoever needs, and somehow we need to tailor-make our explanation to them. We need to celebrate achievements, and we need to add adaptability to our content especially. So with that all, we can enhance our participants' understanding and create positive environment. And last thing that I would like to mention for positive enhancement, and especially for any facilitator, is the way how they present. They say that the voice is the only tool that can say, I love you, and also start a fight. So humans prefer definitely voices that are low, that are rich, warm, smooth, straightforward, and you can definitely train this kind of explanation. You need to have a proper posture, you need to have a certain way how you present and gesticulate especially. So changing the tones to communicate meanings basically, and to not use the wrong tonality and to make it reflect that you are trying to communicate. Basically, our training methods are what defined our passion as well in Rotary. Thank you, PDG.
Thank you, Maggie. It was very clear about how to create this positive learning environment. Now, because I believe that the trainers have to create an atmosphere where participants have to feel valued. They have to feel they are heard and encouraged to express their opinions and ask questions. And here I want to insist on inclusion and involvement. Dear Nijad, how can facilitators create this environment of inclusion and engagement in both online and in-person settings?
Jamil, thank you again. Again, I will make it short. I mean, facilitators are advised to use various techniques and tools to create a productive and engaging environment for participants, such as asking questions, providing feedback, managing conflicts, and designing activities. I'm continuing on what PDG Christina said, and facilitators need to be proficient in using various digital tools and platforms to design, deliver, and monitor blended learning experience. This is in short. Thank you, Jamil.
Thank you, Nijad. Now we move to another important question. And we all know that President Abdallah has a big experience in training programs. Dear Abdallah, from your experience in training, what steps do you follow to ensure effective development and delivery of a training program?
Hi again. Thank you, PDG Jamil, for the question. I start my answer with this slide. The brain is your best ally. What I mean with that, make your program brain friendly. Let the people who are attending your program perceive what you are communicating and delivering to them in a very positive way. This is my first message. The second message is the training program. Did the slide change? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. The training program, as what mentioned was by my colleagues earlier, is a blend of different flavors. So you need to have different exercises, different approaches for delivering the message, and different methodologies. So it's not one way, it's not one voice, it's not one slide, it's not one picture. So you need to have a mix according to the group of participants who are attending. And this takes me to answer the question that was asked by PDG Jamil, how I developed the training program. This is what we call the ADDI model. Any training program that you need to develop should be based on a methodology, starting from training need assessment, so understanding what the participants, where is the gap in the learning that we need to develop. From that, you go to step number 2, which is the design, and this is where you put the outline, where you put the structure of the program, where you put the different elements that need to be there to ensure that learning happens. The next step is this is where the development. This is where you bring in the training material, the theoretical content, the assessments, all what you need to do in the session. So assessment, design, development, and then you run the program. You go into implementation, and you ensure that the training program or the trainer, you are delivering the right way that you have to deliver, as what was mentioned also by Christina. Last point is you need to evaluate how was your training program, how did the participant perceive it, what are their opinion. So again, my message here is a framework, steps. Every single step in the 5 steps that I mentioned here is very important, and you need to give it a deep thinking to come with the best outcome. Now, remember the 3 words below. You need to have an objective, you need to have a method, and you need to have a format. What does that mean? What objective? Example, we need to implement the new security policies. The method then will be, okay, I will have a case study to do that. I'll let them work on a case study so that this will enrich learning. The format, I will do it in smaller groups. It will not be so I split them into small groups. So the idea, you need to decide how you will run your program based on the learning outcome that you are looking. So this is what we call the ADDIE model. And always remember, you need to have an objective method and a format to deliver the learning experience that you need the participant to have. So this is in brief, PDG Jamil.
Thank you. For those who do not know Abdallah, Abdallah is the managing director of Masterminds MENA. It is a learning and development center. He is in charge not only of Jordan, but the whole region. Anyway, we have a trove of interactive techniques at our disposals. We have the role-playing, the case studies, the group discussions, the problem-solving, scenarios, and others. All these techniques not only educate, but they also spark engagement and collaboration. Maggie, how can you accommodate different learning styles? And what are the benefits of cross-generational learning and mentoring?
Sorry, District Governor Jamil. 1 minute, District Governor Bashar is with us. Can we just welcome him for a minute? He's in Armenia and he wants to say hello.
Hello, everybody. How are you? Hope all is well. I'm sorry I can't open the camera because I have a very weak connection, but I'm hearing that we have 92 attendees. I'm very happy for this remarkable attendance. Hope all the credit goes to the training team. They are doing a great job this year for training. Hope you will like it. And this is the first step of a very, very interesting program to come.
Thank you, Bashar. Let me seize this opportunity to thank you for being with us.
I'm sorry, I can't hear. It's connecting. I will leave you to the training seminar. I'll be watching the recording later. Best of luck and hope to see you real soon.
Thank you, Bashar.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Maggie, the floor is yours.
Thank you. So the question, especially for creating an inclusive and enriching educational environment, involves two important elements: the accommodating diverse learning styles and leveraging the benefits of cross-generational interaction. This is very popular topic right now in Rotary and Rotaract, and I really believe that these goals can be achieved through some core strategies. So before that, we need to understand the learning styles. We need to detect Rotarians who have the different styles. We have the visual learners, the ones that learn through seeing. Usually those are Rotarians or Rotaractors that will request an agenda beforehand, or they will request the visuals or the presentation to be shared even when the training session has started. Then you have the auditory learners. They learn the best through listening. They benefit from lectures, discussions, and audio resources. They would love to attend a panel discussion, for example. We have the kinesthetic and tactile learners. They learn best through doing. They benefit from hands-on activities and movement. So those are the ones that would like to have case studies and have real-life examples shared with them during the training. You also have the reading, writing learners. So they will attend the session, but however, they will learn the best through reading and just accessing the materials that were shared after. And especially those are like more academic style of members. So we have different kind of techniques or methods. We can use the interactive methods where we have group discussions, case studies, and role plays. But we can also use the technology. We can utilize the e-learning platforms. We have seen a lot usage of Kahoot recently within Rotary, which we are happy about because it was used usually for quizzes by Rotary. But as well, the interactive learnings and materials that are provided in the learning center. So when we see and we have tents that we have a Rotarian that is more a reading, writing learner, then we suggest for them to pass the training, except of attending all the time the sessions. They will equally learn. Then, of course, we need to do assessment. We need to include various assessment techniques for the understanding and for the skill acquisition, and as well, especially to link them with real life examples. So when we say real life examples, it means that we ask them to teach us something during that training. We ask them what kind of challenges they are facing in their club at the moment, what kind of challenges they are facing in their role specifically. If they're president, how do they communicate with their board? How do they facilitate a meeting or during their general meeting or fellowship? So those are the real life examples that we are seeking for. And especially the interactive methods should have storytelling. So we need to have a lot of background checks of those attendees. So, and especially if we have committee heads that have never had a leadership experience before in Rotary or Rotaract, then we need to learn how did they have become on that position itself? What was their guiding motivators at that moment? And now for my favorite part, it's the diversity and inclusion, the most common words that were shared over the last 2 years. Not everyone learns the same. And especially when we talk about different generations. And now we have that within our clubs. We have a lot of dual members. We have young business professionals directly joining Rotary. And we have modern thinkers who have always been among us. So the goal of this cross-generational pairing learning system is to learn from each other. It seems simple enough, but the part that really differentiates this type of mentoring or learning from the traditional style is the mutual learning and growth. The cross-generational mentoring allows both participants to act as the trainer, facilitator, and the trainee simultaneously. They both need to learn from each other for the dynamic to work. With this also, we need to tackle how different generations learn. For example, for the baby boomers, their more traditional style of classroom will work for them, where they want to have more personal relationship and one-on-one interactions, and they do not feel very comfortable with the digital platforms. Then we have the Generation X. We have, they have actually very interesting concept that they appreciate training that can be immediately applied, and the relevance is a key for them. So they have transitioned into the digital age, so they are comfortable with mix of traditional and online learning platforms. Then we have the millennials that are very tech savvy. They often enjoy group work and learning from each other, and they prefer learning programs that can offer flexibility of terms of when, where, and how. For example, for them, it's not a problem to attend Zoom meetings and also to have hybrid meetings. And then we have the interesting generation that even us as Rotaractors still did not digest and understand. It's the Generation Z. They feel extremely comfortable with technology. Digital platforms for learning are often preferred for them. And they would like to have a lot of multi-digital style of presentations, such as YouTube videos and like TikTok or short reels. And their interest span, it's very low. So they have only few minutes or few seconds focus on certain thing. The new generations that are coming, the Generation Alpha that are born 2013, 2025, in no time will become our members. So we need to learn how actually to adapt to their learning styles as well. So they might be more technologically immersed generation. And of course, we need to be agile and adaptable to what's coming up. Thank you, DJ.
Thank you, Maggie. As always, your ideas and thoughts are fantastic. I am very happy to see with us an active Rotary in this panel. We have, as Rotarians, to include always the new generation, the young people, with us. In fact, they are an added value for all our endeavors and things that we do. Now we move to another question, which is facilitators need to understand all the Rotary online tools so they can educate participants about them. As you know, the online tools of Rotary that we can find on My Rotary help leaders manage their clubs and districts. Trainers should be familiar with these tools so they can better support other Rotarians. There are many online resources that are available for not only for trainers, but also for all Rotarians all over the world. We have the Rotary Showcase, the Rotary Club Central, the Rotary Brand Center, the Rotary Ideas, the Learning Center, which is very important, and we have a lot of discussion groups. Can you, PDG Christina, describe briefly the purpose of 3 online resources, which are the Rotary Club Central, the Rotary Showcase, and the Learning Center? Please do it briefly.
Thank you, PDG Jamil. You will allow me to interchange the Rotary Showcase for the Rotary Brand Center, because I thought that Nijad was addressing that in the same question. And I find more value to immediate training of the audience into Brand Center than the Showcase. From the 6 categories that you mentioned, I would have to say that each one is, or group them, we can group them and say that they are addressing different needs in a club. Rotary Club Center, the Rotary Learning Center, and the Brand Center have direct impact on the administration and service of the club. The others, the Rotary Showcase, Rotary Ideas, and the discussion groups, are ways to stimulate our minds about how we can incorporate global cases and ideas from around the world. So I've answered for the 3, which I consider as a social network of Rotary, an internal social network of Rotary. Now, the Rotary Club Central is something that a president, secretary, treasurer, Rotary Foundation chair, membership chair, let's say the core of a club, should be well acquainted with before they take office. And that is something that a club facilitator, club trainer, club education expert should keep in mind, that they should first be well-versed in this practice. So it might be good to have a past president doing this. And let's clarify that a trainer in a club doesn't necessarily have to be a good facilitator themselves, as long as they can source the good facilitators in the club to pass the messages on. So in the Club Central, we will set our goals, compare our statistics, see our past service, and do our strategic planning, and see how our club will develop in the next year, the year after that, work together of the current board with the next boards, and so on and so forth. The Learning Center is a library, a huge library in which it is very easy to get lost. So the role of a club trainer, facilitator, educationalist, choose the definition that you like, is to possibly identify learning plans for the roles of the members in a club, whether they are committee chairs, they are incoming presidents, they are incoming secretaries, and all that, and direct them to this knowledge. It is something that you can do at home, or it is something from which you can take information and present it to the clubs. And there you can have a facilitated conversation on how, what are our goals going to be, and who are our new members, how are we going to train or educate our new members, and what are we doing with the Rotary Foundation, and what sort of development can we do. And in the brand center, it is important for those of you who are involved in the public image and the public, mainly the public image, I think you will agree, it is very important to enhance and project a parallel and similar identity, whether you're Rotary Club of Limassol Berengaria, or Rotary Club of Citadel, or Rotary Club of Tripoli Marad, or Zgar Tazawi, or Ali West. We have to keep an identity of our clubs, which is similar to that of the district, is similar to our fellow members. That does not mean that we cannot have our own little banner, which has an image of what our club is like, but the identity should be the same. And to learn about the identity, we have to go into the learning center, not one time and another time, learn about the restrictions, see what the image is like, and open a world of tools that will help us promote our club or our district or our region or our country through the social media, through the People of Action thing, on polio, on this, on that, on 1,000 things. As I said, showcase Rotary ideas and discussion groups is a forum where people meet and engage in conversation. Good luck with these useful by-sites of the Rotary website.
Thank you, Christina, for giving us this important information. For those who do not know, Christina is a great trainer from our district. She is a training leader on the international level. She gives training to governors, to Rotary coordinators, and to other Rotary officers. Thank you, Christina, for being so active. Now we move to another question, which is very important. Maggie, what innovative methods and the strategies does Rotaract Academy employ to ensure that the training sessions, which can span several hours, remain engaging, they remain enjoyable and effective for young participants? How do you keep the training from becoming monotonous and ensure that attendees actively participate and benefit from the experience?
Thank you, PDG. Well, the Rotaract Academy, it's a very unique concept only for our Rotaract district. And we are very proud of that because we've been reached out by Rotary International representatives. We've been reached out by other Rotaract multi-district information offices for them to establish Rotaract Academy. So Rotaract Academy for our district was formed by past DRRs and past, let's say, district team members who have been always more knowledgeable about certain topics. And especially like the strategic goals of the Academy are to enhance the Rotaract knowledge to guests and members, to prepare the clubs and district leaders for their roles, and to enhance soft skills. So it's very interesting because our concept works as categorized learning connected with established criteria. So whenever we have even a president that is coming up, that is going to be a president or any other relevant leadership role in the board or as a committee head, they need to pass a Rotaract Academy. Another criteria especially is that every single member, potential member that wants to get pinned in Rotaract needs to pass through Rotaract Academy. That establishes a great platform of learning from the very first start. And then with the concept of repetition, because we do have certain kind of sessions that are continuously involved in the clubs and for the trainings, then those people get familiarized with the branding, get familiarized with the certain important information or dates that we want to place in Rotaract and Rotary. They become knowledgeable about the areas of focus of Rotary, and they start living basically the passion that we are always talking about. So it's through personalized learning journeys with social components. So we do a lot of real world scenarios as well. So when we have at the beginning of the year on 1st of July, already the district team have already needed to pass through Rotaract Academy training. All the presidents already needed to have their pets, their cats, which is similar to Rotary. So where does this kind of interesting concept comes a little bit handy, and it's really engaging the people, and they eventually become ambassadors of Rotaract? It's through participant-led sessions. We do allow a lot of the participants to actually contribute to how the shaping of very certain training is done, and we tailor make it to every country specifically. With the help of the PDRRs and the Rotaract Academy team, we tailor-made certain scenarios that are applicable for the Rotaract clubs that are from that specific country. And one very interesting concept that we have is the post-session engagement. So we do have a system where, of course, we share the materials afterwards. However, we communicate with them. We do a lot of feedback sessions that, what did you learn? What did you find useful from that specific training? Is there any specific topic that you feel more comfortable with, that you can be the ambassador of that topic as well? I will give you one example, a very recent from Rotaract Cyprus, where with the Rotaract Academy team and DR Armelia, we went to engage them in certain training. And there was this lady that came after me for the session, and she said, oh, I attended this session already during my CATS training, which some of the topics were quite similar. So instead of for me telling her that, yes, of course, I understand that you attended, but we needed to pass through this material again. And basically what I wanted to understand from her is that she wanted to explain that she was bored maybe, because she already knew all this stuff. I asked her a question. Okay, in which topic now that you have listened already 2 times, you feel comfortable delivering this topic to your own club? And then immediately she changed her mood, because she now became a person that wants to be associated with that kind of training. She will be basically the ambassador that will pass this kind of information to her club afterward, or to the ones that didn't attend. So the post-session engagement is very important. And the repetition of certain different kind of information, but in different kind of multi-technological way. First time we can show a video, the second training we can maybe show the certain document for that specific information. The repetition somehow brings these core values into our Rotaractors, and eventually they become our engaged members. Thank you.
Thank you, Maggie. Let me tell you that we have 3 questions more, and I kindly ask the panelists to be brief in their answer to finish on time. Please do not exceed 1.5 minutes in your answer. Facilitators should be encouraged to understand the broader goals and initiatives of the Rotary organization for the current year. They have to discuss ways in which their training sessions can contribute to these initiatives. They have to align their training objectives with the larger goals of Rotary to ensure consistency and relevance. Christina, can you tell us briefly how facilitators can identify ways they can help implement key initiatives for the year?
Well, that is a complex thing to formulate, let's say. What we have as educational events in our surroundings as a district. Start with education in the clubs. Then we have education in the district, which concentrates on pets and DTTS. And then we have the district seminars that, together with pets and DTTS, mostly concentrate on membership, Rotary Foundation, public image, grants, and things like that. And now Rotary has prepackaged in a lot of these things on the Learning Center. There are prepackaged, there is prepackaged learning. So the learning expert should take their time, should start by collecting this information from the Learning Center. And you either use a prepackaged thing, there's nothing wrong with that. Other people worked on it, so it's there ready for you to use. But adapt it according to what is happening in your own district and what is the year like. Or you have to start, you can start your own material, which is far more difficult. Now, there are a few things that we need to address. And that is, to begin with, the mission statement of Rotary International and Rotary Foundation. Recently, in my every learning delivery, I insist on talking about the action plan, where together we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe in our communities and in ourselves, and in the 4 pillars of the action plan, because it's good to remind people what we are here for. Annually, we have a new presidential theme, and it is important for the learning experts to go out to the clubs and deliver this message on behalf of the governor, together with the governor. Why is the president of Rotary International announcing their own theme? Because they want you to focus on that. So it's up to the learning experts to deliver this message to the Rotarians down this pyramid of recipients of the messages. Then there are the presidential initiatives. Shekhar Mehta started girl empowerment, and Jennifer is continuing with it, and Gordon McKinnell is continuing with it. Maybe Stephanie Ulchik will do that. Gordon McKinnell brought his own mental health, and so on and so forth. There is polio. So when a learning expert for our district takes material in his hands to deliver a message, he has to consider all these parameters and put them in the context of what it is anticipated that the recipient will hear, and what it is anticipated that the recipient needs to assimilate with, or receive, or think about, and make them understand how to move in a future process. I hope I'm answering the question.
Thank you. Well done, Christina. I move now to Nijad. Nijad, how can facilitators ensure that all participants have the opportunity to voice their opinions, to contribute to discussions, especially when they are in larger groups? What strategies can be employed to minimize distractions and maintain participants' focus during the train sessions? Can you highlight to us some best practices when we have trainings like that? Unmute yourself, please.
Yes, okay. That's what I'm saying. Let me unmute myself first. Thank you, Jamil. Again, I mean, I know that we are short on time, but I mean, just to brief you, I mean, some examples, I mean, of ground rules which we have to use in the beginning of any session, you know, is to implement a few points. I mean, as listen actively, respect different opinions of the participant, share relevant information, stay on topic, ask and honor time limits. These are the ground rules that will create a safe, respectful, and constructive environment for the group to work together. Now, how can facilitators ensure that all participants have the opportunity to voice their opinions and contribute to discussion? We have to keep discussions constructive and positive. as a facilitator, ask dominant participant to allow others to speak. Sometimes you feel, from the participant, few people only active and other not. So we have to make sure, to take care of this point. Give all participants a voice at the start. Highlight the value of a diversity of perspectives as an essential part of the process. And go over constructive and destructive group behaviors at the start of the course, workshop, or seminar. Now, to heighten some participation, as the strategies can be employed to minimize distraction from mobile device, as you mentioned, and maintain participant, heighten participation. First of all, clarify expectation. You have to inform the participant what they are expecting, what you are trying to deliver, provide instructions and offer feedback. Many of them participants, about the phone, it's always, you have to inform them to keep the tone ring, low, and create some phone boundaries, Now, if they have any personal or urgent emergency telephone, they can go out and talk. We have to keep the telephone, the mobile with them, because sometimes we need to use for some information on internet, so they have to use it. And last, we have to ensure that all our core instruction is engaging. Thank you. I hope I deliver the right answer.
Thank you. Thank you, Nijad, as always. You did it. The last question for this session is will be addressed to Abdallah. You have a great experience in planning and preparing training. What strategies and techniques have you found effective in creating engaging and inclusive learning environment? We're talking as a facilitator.
Yes, thank you, PDG Jamil. Again, I will be brief. I will not share the slides. I already shared them on the chat, so everyone can download them. It's now the moment of truth. You are inside the training, and you want to involve others and make sure everyone is participating. This is techniques or tactics that you need to use and always implement to make sure that everyone is participating. First, you need to create the opportunity for a pre-discussion, which is, for example, pose a question and invite participants to discuss it between each other. So ask the participant to talk to each other, beside each other, before you address the question to everyone. So this is one of the techniques. Another technique, obtain the commitment to participate. Example, pose a question, ask how many of you have some thoughts about this. Encourage several people to raise their hands, and then look at the group and see who did not raise his hand, and you might address him for that or ask him to answer the question. Third technique is specify how many you wish to participate. Let's say you have 15. Tell them, I need 10 of you to give me an answer for that. So ask the question to the group and ask 4 or 5 people to answer it. The fourth approach, what we call establish a new participant role. So pose a question and say, this time I'd like people who have not raised their hands so far to answer my question. So you're going more specific and you observe who did not answer. Last one is use what we call the call on the next speaker format. So say, for example, ask the participant to raise their hands when they want to share their views, and request that the present speaker in the group call on the next speaker. So you don't act as a speaker, let the other one act as a speaker, and say, when you are the speaker, please address, this is inner themselves. What the learning to have this participation are there of the discussion Make sure this is having all the discussion. So have all.
Do you hear Abdallah? You don't hear him.
Sorry,
Okay.
I think my connection went off, right?
Yes,
Do you hear me now?
connection went. Yes.
So I'm not sure where I was. Where did I stop? However, the idea is make your training time clear to you when you will have a discussion, when you will have a group exercise, when you want to ask. This should be planned before the training. And make your eyes and your radar, what they call it, your radar, mapping all the participants and see who is not participating and address the question to them. Overall, you need to make the program entertaining. Training need to be entertaining. Make sure that it's not that serious, that people are enjoying the time that they're spending whenever they are attending a training. So it should be entertaining, because whenever your hormones of entertainment increase, your learning will increase also. That's in brief, PDG Jamil.
Thank you, Abdallah. I have only one question more. It is very important. I don't want to skip it. It is for Christina. What do you think are some of the common challenges that facilitators might encounter in guiding discussions? How can these challenges be effectively addressed? You have only 1 minute.
Okay,
Christina,
so to make it fast, this is something that the facilitators will have to think about themselves. We can have a specific session to discuss facilitation techniques, but you have difficult participants where the participants are disagreeing with Rotary position. They're challenging the facilitator. They're questioning the facilitator credentials. They're disagreeing between them. They're interrupting the discussion. They are persisting on an issue. And there is participants who want to dominate the conversation. You have the other side where you have unengaged participants that sit there and watch all the time. You know, you have to bring them out. You have to energize them. You have communication challenges. Somebody speaks unclearly. Then there are language difficulties, because let's not forget the internationality of our group does not mean that we all speak the same language, and the English is not always the same level. And then there are facilitation challenges as such, you know, losing control of the conversation and the discussion. You find yourself with too much participation and you can't really control it. So that is something that you have to foresee. And then you're sitting there expecting answers, or you have incorrect information. And then the questions and the answers just run off the topic. These are things that that happen to you as you're facilitating. So you have to think on your feet. One important thing is not to dictate to your audience. If you have difficulties, let your audience sometimes, most of the time, find the solution for you. Bounce it back to them and try to get your audience in a nice manner with no conflicts to resolve the questions, the issues, and the disagreements. Full stop.
Thank you, Christina. I want to take only 5 minutes more from your time. If somebody, we have time for 3 comments or questions. The first 3 that appears on the screen, we will take them. It seems that everything is very clear. We either
bored them, or we excited them.
No, I think it was
both way is good, Christina.
Dervish has a question.
Very interesting, very interesting.
Both of them.
We were so excited.
Thank you, Suad.
Thank you so much for all the effort, as usual.
Jamil, Darwish has a question, I think. Darwish.
Yeah, Darwish, please unmute yourself.
Okay, so nice being with you this evening, everybody. Nice seeing old friends and seeing new friends as well. I'd just like to comment on a scientific fact which says is a he remembers 10% of what he reads. If one is a passive listener, he remembers 20% of what he listens to. If one is a passive observer, he remembers 30% of what he observes. If one is a passive listener and passive observer, he remembers 50% of what he listens to and what he observes. If he contributes talking, he remembers 70% of what he says. If he contributes by creating solutions, he remembers 90% of what he talks about. So interaction, creativity are main elements. So we should do our best to get everybody involved in the process and make it interesting and energizing and motivating for everybody participating in the learning process. I just wanted to share it. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you, Darwish. I know that you are one of the great trainers in our district. Bushra Kaddoura, the second one.
Yeah, hi, hello. Hi, I just wanted to note that today with the trainers and the masters, especially for adults, it's with using a model that is PAC instead of PAP, which is where we start. It's very important to start with the practices, with the previous experiences of the adult, move on to change the attitude, build the competencies with, of course, the content knowledge, and then send them to become knowledge seekers, so researchers themselves. So that model is really what we're using for adult education today, and for adults, and even for children, that we start first with what they know and build on it. That's what the ADIP model that was used, the pre-assessment before, that is the ADIP, that was what we're talking about. That's all. Just wanted to keep this important note on when training adults.
Thank you, Bushra, for your input. I fully agree with what you said. Now, to close the session, I would like to say, dear friends, as we draw this enriching and insightful Train the Trainer session to a close, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to all of you. Our discussion today has been a beacon of shared knowledge, collaboration, and collective growth within our Rotary district. The passion, the expertise, and dedication that our distinguished panelists, Nijad, Christina, Abdallah, and Maggie, all of them, they brought a lot of enthusiasm in this debate. Their active participation and thoughtful insights from each one of you have illuminated the path toward effective training and facilitation. This exchange of ideas and experiences is a testament to the strength of our Rotary community, where learning knows no bounds. We have touched upon various facets of this training, from understanding the difference between being a trainer and a learner facilitator for adult learning, to the significance of preparation, knowledge sharing, and the art of fostering active participant involvement. We talked about the importance of training methods at our disposal, and we highlighted the wealth of online courses available in the Rotary Learning Center, which empower Rotarians to continue this learning journey independently on their own pace. As we conclude, let us carry this valuable insight forward and continue to strive for excellence in our roles as trainers and facilitators. You have learned today a lot about how to be an effective facilitator, how to create a healthy learning environment, and as you practice your skill, remember these points. And these points are: listen actively to what every person says. Ask questions that stimulate discussions. Apply group problem solving as a group endeavor. Guide people who have differing views towards a workable resolution. Create an atmosphere where people feel free to express their opinion and their feelings. Keep an open mind and do not criticize people's suggestions. Acknowledge and support people when they express their ideas. And at the end, keep people focused on the discussion. Do not allow distractions. Thanks for your attention. Thanks to every one of you for your participation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, PDG Jamil.
Thank you all.
Everyone, wish
Thank
you a nice
you.
evening.
Buddy.
Thank you
Thank
all.
you.
Thank you, PDG
Ciao,
Jamil. Thank you,
ciao.
everyone.
Thank you
Thank you
all.
very
Bye-bye.
much.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you all.
Good night.
Yalla, bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you all. Thank you, everybody.
Goodbye. Nice
Thank
to
you,
meet
Leila.
All the best.
Bye-bye.
Perfect.